The night sky was quiet. Too quiet. In the small town of Ridgewood, people slept peacefully, unaware of the shadow creeping above. Stars twinkled, and the wind whispered through the trees. Then, without warning, the sky lit up. A fleet of alien ships appeared, larger than anything humans had ever seen. They shimmered with dark metal and strange lights, moving like a storm. Their shapes were sharp, alien, and terrifying. The ships hovered over cities, forests, and rivers, scanning the planet like hunters looking for prey. Inside one of the ships, the alien commander, a towering figure with silver skin and glowing eyes, observed Earth. Their resources are abundant, it said. Its voice was cold and hollow. They are weak. This planet will be ours. But Earth was not ready to surrender. In Ridgewood, a young scientist named Daniel watched the sky from his backyard telescope. His heart skipped a beat as he saw the enormous ships. What is that?" he whispered. He ran inside, banging on doors, shouting warnings to neighbors. People stepped outside, staring up at the alien fleet. Panic spread quickly. Cars honked. Dogs barked. Children cried. The aliens began descending, beams of light scanning the ground. Machines larger than buildings started extracting water, trees, and minerals. Cities were in chaos. Military forces scrambled jets and tanks, but they had never faced anything like this. Bullets bounced off alien armor, and missiles fizzled before they even reached the ships. The invaders were fast, strong, and deadly, yet in the shadows. Humans were not ready to give up. Daniel, along with a small group of neighbors, watched as one alien ship landed in a nearby field. It opened, revealing creatures that were taller than any human, with limbs that seemed to bend in impossible ways. They carried strange weapons that fired energy, melting anything in their path. One soldier, Sergeant Jackson, led a team to defend the town. They fired at the aliens, but their bullets barely scratched the metal armor. The team ducked behind ruined walls, their faces grim. "We have to slow them down," Jackson shouted. "We can't let them reach the city." Daniel noticed something unusual. One of the aliens paused as it stepped forward. Its head tilted slightly, scanning the ground, almost like it hesitated. "That's it," Daniel thought. "They're not perfect. They have weaknesses." He grabbed his laptop and began typing furiously. Daniel had been working on a device, a small electromagnetic pulse generator meant to disrupt machinery. It was untested, but now it might be humanity's only chance. As the night grew darker, humans organized makeshift defenses. Farmers with tractors, workers with tools, and civilians with courage formed barricades. They could not match the aliens in strength, but they had creativity and cunning, things the invaders underestimated. The first real clash came at dawn. Aliens moved toward the town, their weapons cutting through walls and trees. Humans had prepared traps, pits covered with weak branches, tripwires attached to homemade explosives, and electrified fences rigged from car batteries. One alien stepped into a pit and fell with a loud crash. It roared in a strange language. Others paused, scanning for danger. Daniel's pulse generator hummed to life. He aimed it at a hovering ship, hoping to disrupt its systems. The ship shuddered, lights flickered, and one of its engines sputtered. For a moment, humans saw victory. Sergeant Jackson led a small team to strike while the aliens were distracted. They set fire to fuel tanks, creating explosions that lit the battlefield like a fireworks show of war. The aliens were strong, but they had not expected humans to fight back with brains over brawn. Despite these victories, the cost was high. Buildings burned. Families ran for safety. The alien commander's eyes glowed with fury. "They are more dangerous than we thought," it hissed. "Eliminate them all." Then, in a quiet corner of Ridgewood, a young girl named Emma stood watching the chaos. She had seen soldiers fall, aliens destroy homes, and the world she knew crumble. But she did not run. She held a small handmade device in her hands, a miniature version of Daniel's generator. She had been helping him in secret, learning and experimenting. Tonight, she would play her part. The aliens advanced, thinking humans were disorganized and weak. But every step they took, the humans had planned something: traps, ambushes, and clever attacks. A truck loaded with scrap metal toppled onto one of the aliens, sending it crashing into the river. Explosions erupted across the town, smoke filling the morning sky. The alien commander watched, stunned. "They adapt," it whispered. This was the first time it felt fear. Fear of something smaller, weaker, and less advanced. Fear of humans. Daniel, running between barricades, shouted to the group, "Keep fighting. They can't think like us. We have the advantage if we stay smart." By mid-morning, the aliens were retreating temporarily, regrouping in the sky. But Daniel knew this was only the beginning. They had underestimated humans. They thought Earth would fall easily, that strength alone would win the war. They were wrong. As the sun rose higher, painting the battlefield in gold and red, humans looked at each other with a mixture of fear and determination. They had survived the first wave. They had fought back. And somewhere deep inside, they all knew Earth had just declared war on the invaders, and humanity would not give up. In the alien command ship, the commander looked down at the battered humans below. Its glowing eyes narrowed. This is only the start. They will pay. But first, we must learn why they are so dangerous. And so, the unexpected war had begun. No one knew how long it would last. No one knew who would survive. But one thing was certain: humans were not just prey. Humans were fighters.